Hey everyone! Before we dive in, if you enjoy this content, you could like this video, share it with someone, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now, let's get started.
Dirk Nowitzki's 2011 NBA Championship. The Ultimate Redemption Story. Introduction. In the annals of NBA history, few championship runs have been as emotionally compelling, as individually driven, or as symbolically powerful as Dirk Nowitzki's conquest of the 2011 NBA Finals. This is the story of a 7-foot German who transformed from playoff choker to clutch champion, leading the Dallas Mavericks to their first NBA title in one of the greatest underdog stories the league has ever witnessed. The year 2011 marked the end of a 13-year championship drought for Dallas and the beginning of Dirk Nowitzki's transformation from perennial playoff disappointment to NBA immortality. This script explores the journey, the obstacles, the triumphs, and the legacy of one of basketball's most unique and beloved champions. Chapter 1. The Weight of Expectations. Dirk Nowitzki entered the 2010 to 2011 season carrying the weight of over a decade of playoff heartbreak. Since being drafted 9th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks in 1998 and immediately traded to Dallas, the 7-foot German had revolutionized the power forward position with his unique combination of size, shooting ability, and basketball IQ. By 2011, he had already established himself as one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history and the greatest European player ever to play the game. However, despite his individual brilliance, team success had remained elusive. The most painful memory was the 2006 NBA Finals, where the Mavericks held a 2-0 lead against the Miami Heat before collapsing in 6 games. That series haunted Nowitzki, as he averaged just 22.6 points on 39% shooting in the final 4 games, earning criticism for his inability to perform in clutch moments. The 2007 first-round upset loss to the Golden State Warriors, as the number 1 seed, only added to the narrative that Nowitzki was a regular season player who couldn't elevate his game when it mattered most. The criticism was harsh and often unfair, but it followed him everywhere. European players were labelled as soft, and Nowitzki became the poster child for this unfounded stereotype. As the 2010 to 2011 season began, Nowitzki was 32 years old, and the window for winning a championship seemed to be closing rapidly. The Lakers were defending champions. The Miami Heat had formed their super team with LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh, and the Boston Celtics remained formidable. The Mavericks were considered a good team, but few believed they could compete with the elite. Chapter 2. Building the Perfect Supporting Cast. What made the 2011 Mavericks special wasn't just Nowitzki's individual brilliance, but the perfect chemistry of role players assembled around him by owner Mark Cuban and general manager Donnie Nelson. This wasn't a team built through free agency splashes or blockbuster trades. It was constructed through shrewd acquisitions and players buying into specific roles. Jason Terry, nicknamed the Jet, served as the team's 6th man and closer. Terry had joined the Mavericks in 2004 and had developed an almost telepathic connection with Nowitzki. His fearless shooting and ability to create his own shot made him the perfect complement to Dirk's methodical approach. Sean Marion, acquired in a trade with Miami in 2009, brought championship experience and defensive versatility. The Matrix could guard multiple positions and provided the athletic presence the team needed on both ends of the floor. Jason Kidd, the aging point guard who had returned to Dallas in 2008, provided leadership, basketball IQ, and clutch playmaking. Though his athleticism had diminished, his court vision and championship hunger remained sharp. Tyson Chandler, acquired from Charlotte just before the trade deadline, proved to be the missing piece. The defensive anchor and rim protector gave Dallas the paint presence they had lacked for years. His shot blocking, rebounding, and pick-and-roll partnership with Nowitzki transformed the team's identity. The supporting cast also included valuable contributors like Deshaun Stevenson, a tenacious perimeter defender, J.J. Barea, a speedy backup point guard whose unpredictability troubled opposing defenses, Peja Stojakovic, a sharpshooting veteran forward, and Brian Cardinal, whose hustle and basketball IQ earned him crucial minutes despite limited athleticism. What made this group special was their collective understanding of their roles and their unwavering belief in Nowitzki's greatness. They had watched him carry the burden for years and were determined to help him finally achieve the ultimate prize. Chapter 3: The Regular Season Foundation. The 2010 to 2011 regular season saw the Mavericks compile a 57-25 record, good for third place in the Western Conference behind the San Antonio Spurs, 61-21, and Los Angeles Lakers, 57-25. While impressive, this record didn't immediately signal championship potential to outside observers. Nowitzki averaged 23.0 points, 7.0 rebounds, and 2.7 assists per game, while shooting 51.7% from the field and 89.9% from the free throw line. His efficiency and consistency remained remarkable, but the real story was how coach Rick Carlisle had maximized the talents of the entire roster. Carlisle, who had taken over coaching duties in 2008, implemented a system that perfectly complemented Nowitzki's skill set while maximizing the contributions of each role player. The offense was built around Nowitzki's ability to create mismatches, but it also featured multiple ball handlers, consistent three-point shooting, and excellent ball movement. Defensively, the addition of Chandler transformed the team's identity. They allowed just 95.6 points per game, ranking 7th in defensive efficiency. This was crucial because previous Maverick teams had often been unable to get stops when games tightened up in the playoffs. The regular season also revealed the team's mental toughness and chemistry. They won 32 of their final 44 games and demonstrated an ability to win close games, going 17-9 in games decided by 5 points or fewer. This clutch gene would prove essential in the playoffs. Perhaps most importantly, Nowitzki showed no signs of age-related decline. He remained durable, playing in 73 games, and his shooting touch appeared as smooth as ever. The stage was set for what would become one of the most memorable playoff runs in NBA history. Chapter 4: First Round: Sweeping the Trail Blazers. The playoffs began with the Mavericks facing the Portland Trail Blazers, who had secured the 6th seed despite dealing with numerous injuries throughout the season. Dallas entered as heavy favorites, but playoff basketball has a way of humbling favored teams. especially the Mavericks given their history. However, this series immediately demonstrated that the 2011 Mavericks were different. They swept Portland 4-0, but more importantly, they showed poise, execution, and clutch performance that had often been missing in previous playoff appearances. Nowitzki averaged 26.5 points and 8.8 rebounds in the series, shooting an efficient 55.4% from the field. Game 1 set the tone when Dallas won 89-81, behind Nowitzki's 28 points and 8 rebounds. The German showed early that he was ready for another playoff run with his full arsenal of moves: the fadeaway jumper, post-ups, and driving lanes to the basket. Game 2 was perhaps the most impressive performance, with Dallas winning 101-89. Nowitzki scored 33 points on 13 of 19 shooting, including 3 of 4 from three-point range. Jason Terry added 22 points off the bench, showcasing the depth that would be crucial throughout the playoff run. The series concluded with convincing wins in Portland, 97-92 and 103-96, with Dallas never truly in danger of losing control. What stood out wasn't just the sweep, but how easily the team seemed to execute their game plan and how composed they appeared in playoff pressure situations. For Nowitzki, the Portland series represented redemption from previous first-round struggles. He looked confident, aggressive, and most importantly, healthy. The supporting cast played their roles perfectly, and the defense held Portland to under 90 points per game in 3 of the 4 contests. Chapter 5. Second round. The Lakers' revenge. The second round presented the ultimate test, a rematch with the Los Angeles Lakers, the defending champions who had eliminated Dallas from the playoffs in 2010. The Lakers featured Kobe Bryant at the peak of his powers, Pau Gasol's skilled big man play, and the coaching genius of Phil Jackson pursuing his 12th championship. This series would define Nowitzki's legacy and the Mavericks' championship aspirations. The narrative surrounding the matchup focused heavily on the contrast between Kobe's Mamba mentality and questions about Nowitzki's ability to perform in clutch moments against elite competition. Game 1 in Los Angeles set an ominous tone when the Lakers won 96-94, despite 27 points from Nowitzki. Bryant scored 36 points and appeared to be in vintage form. The loss reinforced doubts about Dallas's ability to compete with championship-caliber teams on the road. Game 2 changed everything. In a performance that would be remembered as one of the greatest in franchise history, Dallas won 93-81 behind Nowitzki's 24 points and a complete team effort. More importantly, they showed they could match the Lakers' intensity and execute their game plan against the defending champions. Returning to Dallas for Game 3, the Mavericks took control of the series with a 98-92 victory. Nowitzki scored 32 points, but the story was the team's defensive effort in holding the Lakers to 42.7% shooting. Tyson Chandler's rim protection and the team's help defense neutralized the Lakers' interior attack. Game 4 provided the series' defining moment. With the score tied 93-93 and 1.9 seconds remaining, Nowitzki caught a pass in the post, spun baseline, and hit a fadeaway jumper over Pau Gasol for the game winner. The shot was vintage Dirk, unguardable, clutch, and executed with ice-cold composure. Dallas won 122-86, stunning the basketball world. The series concluded with a 103-93 victory in Game 5, with Nowitzki finishing with 26 points. The Lakers, who had won back-to-back championships, were sent home in stunning fashion. Phil Jackson's coaching career ended not with championship glory, but with a second-round playoff exit. For Nowitzki, the Lakers series represented a personal and professional breakthrough. He averaged 27.0 points and 8.8 rebounds while shooting 51.2% from the field. More importantly, he had out-dueled Kobe Bryant and proven he could perform in clutch moments against the game's best players. Chapter 6, Western Conference Finals, Oklahoma City Thunder. The Western Conference Finals matched Dallas against the young, athletic Oklahoma City Thunder, led by 22-year-old Kevin Durant and 21-year-old Russell Westbrook. The Thunder had upset the Memphis Grizzlies and San Antonio Spurs to reach their first conference finals since moving from Seattle. This series presented a fascinating contrast in styles. Dallas's veteran experience and execution against Oklahoma City's youth, athleticism, and explosive scoring ability. Many observers favored the Thunder, believing their speed and energy would overwhelm the aging Mavericks. Game 1 in Oklahoma City immediately validated these concerns when the Thunder won 121-112 despite 38 points from Nowitzki. Durant scored 40 points, and the Thunder's fast break offense seemed to expose Dallas's veteran legs. The loss raised questions about whether the Mavericks had enough left in the tank after their emotional Lakers series. Game 2 provided the answer with one of the most memorable playoff performances in NBA history. Trailing 95-81 with 5 minutes and 6 seconds remaining, the Mavericks appeared finished. Then, Jason Terry caught fire, scoring 13 points in the final 5 minutes, while Nowitzki added crucial baskets to complete a stunning 106-100 victory. The comeback was significant not just for tying the series, but for demonstrating the team's resilience and veteran composure under extreme pressure. Terry's clutch shooting and Nowitzki's steady leadership showed they wouldn't be intimidated by the Thunder's home crowd or momentum. Games 3 and 4 in Dallas split, with the Thunder winning Game 3 95-87 behind Durant's 31 points, and the Mavericks responding with a 112-105 Game 4 victory powered by Nowitzki's 29 points and Terry's 19 points off the bench. Game 5 in Oklahoma City became a classic playoff battle, with Dallas prevailing 100-96. Nowitzki scored 26 points, but the game belonged to the supporting cast. Barea contributed 21 points, including several driving layups that frustrated the Thunder's defense, while Marion provided crucial stops on Durant. The series concluded with a dominant 100-96 Game 5 victory that sent Dallas to their second NBA Finals in 6 years. Nowitzki averaged 25.7 points and 7.8 rebounds for the series, but the victory was a testament to the team's depth, with different players stepping up in crucial moments. Perhaps most importantly, the Thunder series showed that Dallas could match any team's intensity and execute under pressure. They had defeated the defending champions, and the conference's most explosive young team, proving they belonged among the NBA's elite. Chapter 7. The Final Stage. Miami Heat. The 2011 NBA Finals presented the ultimate storyline. Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks against LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, Chris Bosh, and the Miami Heat. The Heat had formed their super team the previous summer with great fanfare, predicting not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7 championships. The narrative was compelling on multiple levels. Nowitzki sought redemption against the same franchise that had defeated him in 2006. LeBron James pursued his first championship after leaving Cleveland amid enormous controversy. The series represented old-school team basketball against the new era of super teams. Most analysts heavily favored Miami. The Heat had more talent, athleticism, and championship experience through Wade's 2006 victory. They had reached the finals by defeating Philadelphia, Boston, and Chicago, looking increasingly dominant as the playoffs progressed. Vegas odds makers installed Miami as significant favorites, and many predicted a Heat victory in 5 or 6 games. The prevailing wisdom suggested that Dallas's veteran team would struggle to match Miami's athletic superiority, and that Nowitzki would again wilt under finals pressure. These predictions ignored several crucial factors: Dallas's superior depth, their defensive improvements with Chandler, and most importantly, Nowitzki's evolution as a clutch performer throughout the 2011 playoffs. The stage was set for one of the greatest individual finals performances in NBA history. Chapter 8. Finals Games 1-3. The Fever and the Fight Game 1 in Miami established the series' intensity when the Heat won 92-84 despite a valiant effort from Dallas. Nowitzki scored 27 points, but Miami's defense disrupted the Mavericks' offensive flow, and Wade's 22 points led a balanced attack. However, the game's lasting image came in the fourth quarter when Nowitzki, suffering from a fever and clearly weakened, continued to battle despite being visibly ill. He played 40 minutes and refused to use his illness as an excuse, demonstrating the leadership and toughness that would define the series. Game 2 provided one of the most dramatic playoff games in NBA history. Miami led 88-73 with 7 minutes and 14 seconds remaining, and the Heat appeared ready to take a commanding 2-0 series lead. Then Dallas mounted one of the greatest comebacks in finals history. Nowitzki, still battling his illness, scored 10 points in the final 6 minutes, including a crucial three-pointer with 26.7 seconds remaining. The Mavericks outscored Miami 22-5 over the final 7 minutes 14 seconds to win 95-93. Stunning the Heat and their home crowd. The comeback was significant beyond just evening the series. It demonstrated Dallas's refusal to surrender and Nowitzki's ability to perform under extreme pressure while physically compromised. The victory shifted momentum and confidence heading to Dallas for Games 3 and 4. Game 3 in Dallas saw Miami respond with an 88-86 victory, behind 29 points from Wade and 17 from James. The Heat's athletic defense disrupted Dallas's offensive rhythm, and crucial late-game execution gave them a 2-1 series lead. Despite the loss, Nowitzki remained steady with 34 points on efficient shooting. He was clearly determined not to let his championship opportunity slip away again, playing with a desperation and focus that elevated his already exceptional play. The first 3 games established that this would be a series decided by execution, mental toughness, and individual brilliance rather than talent disparity. Nowitzki was matching Miami's stars shot for shot, while Dallas's role players were contributing crucial moments. Chapter 9. The Turning Point. Games 4 and 5. Game 4 in Dallas became the series' turning point, though it didn't seem that way initially. Miami built a 71-63 lead entering the fourth quarter, appearing ready to take a commanding 3-1 series advantage that would effectively end Dallas's championship hopes. What followed was one of the greatest individual playoff quarters in NBA history. Nowitzki scored 21 points in the fourth quarter, shooting 6 of 9 from the field and 9 of 9 from the free throw line. His performance included several unguardable fadeaway jumpers and clutch free throws under enormous pressure. The sequence that defined the quarter came with Dallas trailing 93-90 and 3 minutes 46 seconds remaining. Nowitzki hit a fadeaway three-pointer over LeBron James to tie the game, then followed with 2 more baskets to give Dallas a lead they wouldn't relinquish. The 86-83 victory tied the series 2-2. Nowitzki finished with 40 points, but the fourth quarter performance transcended statistics. He had out-dueled the Heat's Big Three in the most pressure-packed situation possible, proving conclusively that he belonged among the game's greatest clutch performers. Game 5 in Miami saw the Heat respond with a 103-112 victory, taking a 3-2 series lead and putting Dallas on the brink of elimination. Wade scored 23 points, James added 17, and Miami's home crowd sensed championship glory. However, the loss masked several encouraging signs for Dallas. They had competed evenly with Miami for most of the game and shown they could execute their offense against the Heat's aggressive defense. Nowitzki scored 29 points, continuing his exceptional finals performance. More importantly, the Mavericks showed no signs of panic or desperation despite facing elimination. Their veteran experience and confidence in their system would prove crucial in the series' final 2 games. Chapter 10. Championship Glory. Games 6 and 7. Facing elimination in Game 6 at home, the Mavericks delivered one of the most complete playoff performances in franchise history, winning 105-95 to force a decisive Game 7. The victory was built on suffocating defense that held Miami to 41.6% shooting and balanced offensive contributions. Nowitzki scored 21 points despite shooting struggles, but his leadership and floor presence were evident throughout the game. Jason Terry provided crucial offense with 27 points, including several momentum-changing three-pointers that electrified the Dallas crowd. The game's defining sequence came in the fourth quarter when Dallas outscored Miami 32-20 to pull away for the decisive victory. The Mavericks' veteran composure under elimination pressure contrasted sharply with Miami's apparent nervousness and rushed offensive possessions. Game 7 in Miami would determine Nowitzki's legacy and Dallas's championship fate. The pressure was enormous for both teams, but particularly for the Heat, who faced the possibility of becoming the first super team to fail in their initial championship attempt. From the opening tip, it was clear this would be Nowitzki's night and Dallas's destiny. He scored 21 points in the first half, shooting with remarkable accuracy and poise despite the enormous stakes. His fadeaway jumper remained unguardable, and his presence seemed to calm his teammates. The game remained close throughout, with neither team able to build a substantial lead. Miami's big three combined for 57 points, but Dallas's balanced attack and superior execution in crucial moments proved decisive. The sequence that sealed the championship came with Dallas leading 95-93 and 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining. Nowitzki hit a baseline fadeaway jumper over Chris Bosh, extending the lead to 4 points and essentially ending Miami's championship hopes. When the final buzzer sounded on Dallas's 105-95 victory, Nowitzki fell to his knees in emotional release, tears streaming down his face as 13 years of playoff disappointment and criticism melted away. The greatest European player in NBA history had finally captured the ultimate prize. Chapter 11: Statistical Dominance and Historical Context. Nowitzki's 2011 finals performance ranks among the greatest in NBA history. He averaged 26.0 points, 9.7 rebounds, and 2.0 assists, while shooting 53.7% from the field and 93.3% from the free throw line. His efficiency and consistency under extreme pressure were remarkable. Perhaps most impressively, Nowitzki shot 20 of 27, 74.1%, from the free throw line in the series' final 3 games, demonstrating ice-cold composure in the most pressure-packed situations imaginable. His ability to get to the line and convert consistently gave Dallas a reliable scoring source when other options disappeared. The championship run as a whole was statistically dominant. Nowitzki averaged 27.7 points and 8.1 rebounds throughout the playoffs, while shooting 48.5% from the field. He scored 20 or more points in 20 of 21 playoff games, showing remarkable consistency over 2 months of high-intensity basketball. From a historical perspective, the 2011 championship holds special significance. Nowitzki became the first European player to lead a team to an NBA championship as the primary option. His victory opened doors for future international stars and proved that basketball excellence transcends geographical boundaries. The championship also represented a victory for team basketball over super team construction. Dallas's success was built on role players maximizing their contributions, veteran leadership, and superior coaching rather than assembling multiple superstars. Most importantly, the title validated Nowitzki's career-long excellence and silenced critics who had questioned his ability to perform in clutch moments. He joined an exclusive group of players who had carried their teams to championships as the primary scoring option. Chapter 12: The Emotional Release and Legacy. The immediate aftermath of Game 6 provided some of the most emotionally powerful images in NBA history. Nowitzki's tears of joy, relief, and vindication resonated with basketball fans worldwide who had witnessed his journey from playoff disappointment to championship glory. His post-game interviews revealed the depth of emotion and pressure he had carried throughout his career. "I'm still a little bit in shock," he said. "This is what you play for. This is what you work so hard for in the summer. And it's just amazing." The championship parade in Dallas drew hundreds of thousands of fans celebrating not just the title, but Nowitzki's personal redemption story. He had become more than just a basketball player. He was a symbol of perseverance, dedication, and the reward for refusing to surrender dreams despite repeated setbacks. From a legacy perspective, the 2011 championship transformed Nowitzki from a very good player who couldn't win the big one into one of the greatest players in NBA history. He joined an elite group of players who had led their teams to championships as the primary option, validating his place among the game's all-time greats. The title also cemented his status as the greatest European player ever and one of the most beloved figures in NBA history. His combination of skill, character, and perseverance resonated with fans across cultural and geographical boundaries. Perhaps most significantly, the championship provided closure to a career-defining narrative. Nowitzki would never again face questions about his ability to perform in clutch moments or his capacity to lead a championship team. He had answered every critic and validated every supporter. Chapter 13. The broader impact on basketball. Nowitzki's championship had implications extending far beyond his personal legacy. It validated the stretch four position he had pioneered, showing that skilled big men who could shoot from distance were not just regular season novelties, but could be the foundation for championship teams. The title also provided a template for smaller market teams competing against super teams. Dallas's success was built on smart roster construction, player development, and maximizing existing talent rather than pursuing marquee free agents. This approach would influence team-building strategies throughout the league. From an international perspective, the championship opened doors for European players and demonstrated that basketball excellence wasn't limited to American players. Nowitzki's success paved the way for players like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, and Nikola Jokic to be viewed as legitimate superstar options. The playing style Nowitzki demonstrated also influenced the league's evolution toward pace and space basketball. His ability to stretch defenses as a big man while maintaining low post skills showed teams the value of versatile players who could operate in multiple areas. Most importantly, the championship demonstrated that individual greatness, combined with perfect role-player fit, could overcome superior raw talent. This lesson would influence how teams approach roster construction and game planning for years to come. Chapter 14. The Aftermath and Career Conclusion. Following the championship, Nowitzki's career took on a different character. He was no longer chasing his first title or trying to prove his greatness. Instead, he was cementing his legacy and enjoying the respect his championship had earned. He would play 6 more seasons in Dallas, gradually transitioning from superstar to elder statesman. His leadership helped develop younger players, and his presence provided stability for a franchise navigating the post-championship landscape. The 2011 title also enhanced his relationships with teammates and coaches. The mutual respect and gratitude from that championship run created bonds that lasted long after careers ended. Players like Jason Terry, Tyson Chandler, and others frequently reference the special chemistry of that team. From a personal satisfaction perspective, the championship allowed Nowitzki to enjoy his remaining years without the pressure and criticism that had defined his earlier career. He could focus purely on basketball and helping his team rather than answering questions about his legacy. When he retired in 2019, the championship remained the crowning achievement of his career. It transformed how he was remembered and ensured his place in basketball immortality. Without that title, he would have been remembered as a great player who couldn't win. With it, he became a legend. Conclusion: the perfect ending to an imperfect journey. Dirk Nowitzki's 2011 NBA championship represents more than just a title. It's a story about perseverance, redemption, and the reward for refusing to surrender dreams despite repeated disappointments. His journey from playoff disappointment to championship glory resonates with anyone who has faced adversity and criticism while pursuing their goals. The championship validated not just Nowitzki's individual greatness, but also proved that basketball excellence transcends geographical boundaries, that team chemistry can overcome individual talent, and that persistence in the face of criticism can ultimately lead to vindication. For Dallas Mavericks fans, 2011 represents the pinnacle of franchise history and the fulfillment of decades of patient support for their star player. For basketball fans globally, it stands as one of the sport's great underdog stories and individual performances. Most importantly, for Dirk Nowitzki, the 2011 championship provided the perfect ending to what had been an imperfect journey. It transformed him from a player who couldn't win the big one into a champion who had proven his greatness on the sport's biggest stage. The tears he shed after Game 6, the embrace with his teammates, and the joy of finally achieving his ultimate goal created some of basketball's most emotionally powerful moments. They reminded us why we love sports, for the human stories of triumph over adversity, for the validation of dedication and perseverance, and for the pure joy of dreams finally becoming reality. In the end, Dirk Nowitzki's 2011 championship wasn't just about basketball. It was about the power of believing in yourself when others doubt, the importance of surrounding yourself with people who share your vision, and the incredible satisfaction that comes from proving that excellence and character ultimately triumph over criticism and setbacks. The title will forever stand as a testament to one man's refusal to let his story end in disappointment and his determination to write his own perfect ending to what had been a sometimes painful but ultimately glorious journey to basketball immortality.